Hi, Maria.
Hi, Shaun. I missed you last week.
I know, but you know what? You're an amazing friend, and thank
Aww.
you. No, seriously, like other than just doing the podcast together, outside of that, you are a beautiful friend.
Oh, see everybody, I'm not so bad.
It's good to have good friends.
Actually, so it was, we weren't here last week. We need some mental health day, mental health week, basically.
I definitely needed a mental wellness moment, like literally just to stay in my bed, watch TV, and just be to myself. I kind of had a rough moment with my daughter and teenagers. I mean, there's things that happen in life that you don't expect to happen that take you off guard.
Oh yeah, been there.
I know. But when it happens to you, like me personally, I was like in shock. So pretty much my daughter told me to chill out.
And you weren't used to that.
No. And I kind of snapped. And
I think, honestly, I think that's what triggered it, but there was so much more going on. Before that led to that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I was holding a lot of feelings in because as parents, we don't want to tell our children that we're sad or that we're scared or that we're worried.
Yeah.
So we always want to be strong for them.
Yeah.
And me personally, being a single parent, I don't have someone to throw things off and say, "Hey, honey, this happened," or "Hey,
you don't need that."
You don't need that.
They won't listen anyway.
Honeys aren't there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
So I personally was holding a lot inside because I didn't want her to know how worried I was. And then when she told me to chill out, I was like, whoa.
You were like, that's it.
I'm like, whoa.
Wow. Like, you know what I've been going through?
Exactly. Yeah.
To make everything good for you.
So Maria sent me a meme that made me feel so much better. It was a meme of Jennifer Aniston in a scene just cursing her child out. I'm like, okay, good. My moment wasn't that bad.
No. Actually, because I was trying to explain to you when you first told me about it, I'm like, oh, that's no big deal. We all go through that. And you're like, oh, that makes me feel so much better.
I felt so much better because honestly, we always want to be like the perfect role models for our children. Yeah. We want to, I never want to see my daughter see me snap.
No, well, and you felt guilty saying the stuff you said to her. You're allowed. You're allowed. Gosh. You went through labor.
I know. I should have said that. Do you know where you came from?
You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me.
I didn't go that route. I went a different route.
Been there.
And she, like the look on her face. So pretty much I called my daughter. I didn't call her. I said, "You ungrateful little."
She's a teenager. She can handle it.
And the look on her face was like, holy cow.
Well, that's because you've never, ever.
Yeah.
Well, now she knows you mean business.
I hope so.
Did that get her attention at least, though?
It did.
Okay.
It did. I think like we both needed that shock treatment.
Oh yeah.
Almost to wake us both up to be like, hey. Like, yeah.
Yes. So now
we're good.
See?
I mean, like I got it out of my system.
You have to go through the bad to get through the good.
Absolutely. Seriously. I mean, like when she was little, I remember one time she did something silly. She was just a little kid. And I'm like, who do you think you are? And she looked at me and she's like, and she said her name. I'm like,
it's like, you are.
I'm like, okay, you know who you are. And then another time I was like, don't make me count to 3. And she looked at me and she's like, so what happens when you get to 3? I'm like, you're not supposed to question me. I don't know what's going to happen when I get to 3.
Then you get to 4. There's 5 and 6.
I literally had to turn my back because I was like kind of laughing, like, oh my gosh, like this kid's questioning me. And this is her personality and this is her life.
Yeah.
Like she always questions me. And
you're not prepared to answer it.
Well, when I was growing up, I didn't know that was an option. We never questioned our parents.
Well, the way we grew up is so different from how they're growing up now.
It is. It really is. And so, I mean,
we can't talk back. We can't say anything.
No. I mean, no.
It's a big no.
Because I know.
Yeah.
So I needed a day because I was just feeling really bad for speaking to my child the way I did. But Maria helped me feel much better, going, girl, you're not the only one. We've all done it as parents, so it's okay. Get over it, but have your moment.
I didn't say it like
No, you were super sweet and super kind. And like I said, thank you for being an amazing friend.
Well, it's not like, it's not like Shauna hasn't been there for me when I was going through it with my girls. But at that time, her daughter was
not a toddler, but she was younger.
Yeah, you were just my ear. I just need someone to vent to.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And when you're like, I remember you were like, I hope that doesn't happen to
me. And here we go, having a 14-year-old. Oh my gosh. I think having a 3-year-old.
Oh, so much better.
Well, I mean, sassy 3s, but I thought like a 3-year-old was like, oh my gosh.
It was more the physical thing, like the following them around, making sure they're not touching things or falling down or whatever, but nothing compared
to being 14 and them having a
and 15
voice.
And 16.
I know.
Even when they're like adults, that's where it gets worse. It's like, am I still supposed to care for you? But you're an adult now, but you still don't know.
We've talked about it gets worse when they get older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have more freedom and you have no control, but yet they need someone to still guide them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've been doing things to keep my daughter busy. She is a little counselor for VBS, and then she's going to go away. I'm going to send her away for a week.
She's leaving Sunday to camp.
This is the first time I'm actually excited for her to go away.
Before you were like, oh, I miss her already.
I know. Now I'm like, let's pack the bags. Let's get ready. I'll see you in a week. Goodbye.
Right?
I'm kind of excited. Well, she needs it. I need it. Like, I honestly feel like we, as much as we love each other unconditionally, we need a little break from each other.
Oh, yeah. And
there's nothing wrong with that.
There is not.
I'm finally figuring it out. It's okay.
You have to understand, Shaun's always about her daughter, which I totally get. She's a single mom. It's her only child. And
I'm kind of a helicopter mom, but now I'm not. I'm like, okay.
Here's me with 3. It's like, oh.
But with your first one, I'm sure you probably were.
Oh, yeah. That one, the first one's always the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one, like when her moving out or when she first talked back to me and our fights, and you knew about her.
Oh, yeah.
It was like hard. And like when she started being this Miss Independent thing, well, she thought she was it.
Yeah. That's the hard part. It's like they think they know.
My earrings just fell. No.
They think they know, but they don't know.
Yeah, but they really don't
know.
They won't know until they're 40.
I still don't know, and I'm over 40.
Oh God, no! I'm hoping. By the time.
But I love seeing the relationship you have with your daughters now. So it gives me hope that it all turns around and it all comes back, and
they do come back. And I tell other moms that they come back. It's just that with us being Gen X parents, different generation, how they are as
I'm
going different. We just don't think the same way, and you have to go through that part.
Yeah,
it's a big adjustment, big transition, and then once they reach like 17, 18, then you kind of both meet in the middle, and then it becomes better.
Yeah.
Well, that's my personal experience.
And I also think it's where you're from too. I mean, I cannot imagine having a 14-year-old child living in New York.
Not 14. No.
Because they're so...
No, I wouldn't say 14. I mean, would you allow your daughter to go to New York at 18 for college without you? That's, I wasn't ready for that. And luckily my daughter thought she was, but she changed her mind. And she's like, no, I'm
So were you going to let her go to college? Obviously, she's 18. She can go to college wherever she wants.
Like in New York, I would probably have to be with her for a month just to see, and then come home just to make sure. Well, because I know my daughter, it was already hard enough for her to leave home. So
exactly,
but it all goes with the personality too. Some kids are ready to just leave the nest and be like, bye, see you, I know what I'm doing. Blah, blah, blah.
And honestly, I don't think my daughter wants to go away to school without me. And that's
you don't think so?
We'll see in how many years? 4 years?
Okay, well, we'll have that episode.
Flashback.
If we're still on. I don't know.
I mean, she's learning to be more independent now. So I'm really, really proud of that.
Yeah.
But she's so used to having me around without necessarily like saying, I want you to be around, if that makes sense.
Well, you guys would just be besties and it'd be different. I don't think I think she would want you to be around and you guys just do things together.
I think just peace of mind, just her knowing I'm close by, I think will just give her that sense of security.
Yeah.
But who knows? Things could change. I mean, like, I never thought...
She could have a boyfriend, Shaun.
Oh, my God!
And you won't be number one anymore. That will be another episode.
Which is funny because there's a lot of girls her age that do have boyfriends. And my daughter, she's into music. Like, I was just telling you, Maria, that I got her a guitar because she grew out of her old guitar. And I'm like, oh, you're going to start playing music again.
Yeah.
So she's really...
I'm glad she has an interest.
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She's been riding her bike outside, even though it's super hot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish my kids would do that.
I mean, which is a big deal because here in Arizona, it's so hot. So she's been spending a lot of time in her room.
Yeah.
And thank you for telling me about Life 360 because I know when she's leaving. So
you have peace of mind.
Yes, but I want her to go outside. On the other hand, Grandma is like...
What'd she do?
So my daughter sends me a text, all in capital letters. Mom!
What did Grandma do?
I just went outside to walk around the block and Grandma's like sitting in the car, sitting in the garage, like saying she's gonna come in the car and go look for me.
Wait, does your mom have Life 360 on her phone?
Well, she doesn't have it on. We have Life 360 originally for her. Which is not okay. No, I mean she's older, and we're like, oh my gosh, like what if she's not at that stage in her life yet? But we're like, what if she wanders?
Yes,
what if? Yeah. And she's always losing her phone. So
So mom. So okay, give you a little history. Shaun's mom, her mental.
She's in the early stages of just not remembering things. I mean,
early stages of Alzheimer's?
I think so. Yeah. Okay. I mean, she will literally...
She's very forgetful.
Very forgetful. Okay. So,
but I am too. I think it's just menopause. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
I don't want to go off this topic. That's a totally different topic. Okay, going back to mom.
Well, so the reason why we got Life 360 is because you told me about it.
Yeah.
But then, so her husband was like, oh my gosh, I need to put this on our phone because my mom's always losing her phone. And the crazy thing is she doesn't leave the house.
It's somewhere in the house then. The phone's somewhere in the house. It could either be on the couch, the bedroom, the kitchen.
It's like, how can you lose the phone? So, but anyways, so her husband was like, oh my gosh, I love this because
but
for my daughter,
when he's not there, he knows where she is.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just a peace of mind.
Yes.
And now that my daughter's getting older, and like I said, like she wants to go outside, she wants to do stuff, and I want to encourage her to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not that I don't trust her. It's just this world.
Yeah, this world is just not the same.
It's not the same.
When
when I was little, I'd be gone for 4 hours all day, and
not be worried, right? And we didn't have cell phones; we had pay phones.
Put the dime in there.
We talked about that last time. Even if you don't have a dime? Like, what do you do? Call collect.
Oh my gosh, you can call collect on payphones. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you call collect and you just make sure, fingers crossed, someone answers the phone.
So with Life 360, you can track your children. And it's just good for emergencies and for any reason. So, and it gives me a peace of mind. So if my daughter wants to go roam around the neighborhood, let her roam around the neighborhood. That's what kids should be doing anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
In this 100-some degree weather.
I know.
It's so hot.
It's so hot.
Anyway.
So anyways.
So once she goes to camp, just make sure.
She can't take her phone.
Oh, that's right. No phone.
No electronics at all.
Well, at least you know where she's at.
No. And this is her 3rd year going away to camp.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm like, okay, good. Go. And she's excited.
Get lost in the woods.
Get lost in the woods. Go for a hike. And some of the friends, I think I told you that she's made from camp. They're still friends.
Oh, okay.
So it's really good. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, exciting times.
Yes, but 14 for me is...
That's what you said about 13. I didn't let you finish the sentence.
Anyways, we're both going to therapy. And there's nothing wrong with that.
So, okay. So now that you mentioned that,
okay,
how did you feel about it? Because I know that wasn't in your plan to be in therapy. It was just really
for her.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did you feel about that?
Okay. Well, this is also, I think I told you, like what upset me as well was, so the first part of the therapy, like we're both sitting there and we're both talking, and there's this clause where whatever she tells the therapist, the therapist can't tell me. And so I was just talking about telling the therapist how I went off on my daughter, and because I felt like I needed to express that.
Yeah, you really felt guilty.
I think I wanted to tell her before she told the therapist.
Yeah, because you don't want to hear, I'm like, wow, your mom.
Is she abusing you?
Yeah. Okay.
Did not touch my child.
Yeah.
So when we're talking, my daughter looks at the therapist and she's like, why is she here?
That attitude.
And that hurt my feelings. Why is she here? Like I'm like, I'm your mother. Now I'm a she.
Yeah. So you're a she.
So that hurt me.
Yeah. No, it does hurt.
And so that whole weekend, I just needed to process everything that was happening. And just
imagine if you did a podcast, you'd be like mean and
oh my gosh.
You'd just be like, I don't want to be here.
I would probably say some things that I wouldn't want to be recorded forever.
Yeah, no, seriously. Thank goodness we took time off.
So I needed to. That's why we weren't here last week.
Okay, so going back to that, so the therapy. Go ahead.
So therapy.
See, I cut you off again.
Oh, that's okay. Anyways, no, I mean it's good. I mean,
so it's good. It's going good. So she's fine now having you there in the session.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Okay. Well, like, as I was telling you before we started talking on the podcast, I need to find her a new therapist. I just don't feel like it's a good fit for her. She doesn't feel like she can open up as much as she wants.
Told you.
She told me.
Okay.
And she's like, I still want to talk to someone, but I want to find someone else.
Well, then there you go. Yeah.
So yay.
No, I think that's great that she's communicating that.
Yeah.
Before she didn't even want to go. I remember
before she was very
like,
resistant.
why do I need to go? Yeah. Now she's open to it, right?
Yes.
Which is good.
Yes. Yes.
That's a big
and like
deal.
I did. And like since she's been talking to someone, like I've seen big changes.
Big
like
changes,
she's
right?
been going outside, riding her bike. She's
It's
like
a big
playing music
deal.
again.
Yeah.
Like she's doing
when
things.
you told me about the guitar, I'm like, gosh, how I wish one of them would have continued an instrument.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's never too late. You never know.
Yeah, maybe I should take up an instrument. I mean, it's therapeutic.
It is, and that's what I mean. It's like I'm so happy. So, yeah, strides, progress, moving forward.
No, it's good, Shaun.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you know what? Some parents out there might be going through what you are, that they're like, you know,
it's
for some
overwhelming
people,
sometimes.
Yeah, for some people, they think therapy is like there's something wrong with you mentally. No, it's really is. It's just that it's a way. It helps you express feelings and emotions that you are having a hard time doing. Like some people keep things.
You hold things in, and that's one thing that I
it's
do.
Not healthy for you.
Yeah, I hold things in, and I don't want my daughter to be that kind of person that holds things in, because I know how hard it is on me when I hold things in. So
yeah. I don't. That's it.
I just let it all out.
The whole house knows about it.
This is how Maria is feeling today.
I'm just loud.
That's why I love you so much.
And sometimes like, did that come out wrong? I'm sorry.
Did I say that?
No, I mean, I can be blunt. But, but I do apologize. I'm like, oops, sorry. Did I say that wrong?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I'm just thankful that I do have a friend that I can talk to, because
yeah, because you hold things in. And then me being opposite, I don't.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, let it out, Shaun. Just let it out. And I'll be staring at you like, you can cry,
It's okay. She lets me be okay with my feelings.
Like, it's okay. You can cry. We have tissue. Oh yeah, no. But Shaun has also been there for me when I just need someone to vent. I don't have to have somebody fix it for me. I think we all know how to fix it. It's just a matter, like, I just want somebody to
listen
and acknowledge what I'm going through, right?
And knowing that you're not the only person.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I've been there many. Well, be like. Over
at Snooze,
over breakfast, over mimosa
every Friday after PTA.
After a PTA meeting.
I love those days.
Let's talk about the budget and what we need to do for events, and then this is what
5 minutes of that. Okay. This event's going to happen. Okay, we got that. So-and-so's going to do that. Now let's talk about us.
Right. Those were the days.
Those were the days.
That was like how many years ago, man?
A long time ago. And I think I told you that my daughter has informed me that I am not allowed to be involved when she goes to high school.
Because you were super involved.
I know. I was going to. So the school she's going to, they make it sound so glamorous. They don't call it PTA. They call it SPA. I'm like, of course I want to go to the SPA.
Because of the
Student Parent Association.
Yes,
I'm like, I want to go to the SPA.
I'm like, nope, I graduated from doing SPA. Many hours of volunteer work.
I'm not going to volunteer when she's in high school.
Isn't that weird how they do it? Because when my oldest started high school, she's like, please don't go to any of my games. And I'm like, my husband and I, what? We pay for tuition, but I'm like,
exactly.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, I just don't. She goes, I just get.
Because Mom, you're too loud.
No, well, maybe, but it's not even that. It's just like more pressure on her, and she doesn't want.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh gosh, fine. And I think that's the reason why, because my husband and I were talking, like, how come we're not that much involved in high school? I said, well. Because your oldest, from the very beginning, didn't want us there for the games, and then, they want us for this. So I'm like, fine, more time for us to do whatever we want to do.
Pick you up and up.
But I said, but our youngest don't care.
That's what I'm going to say. With your youngest, you guys, you make a point to go.
Oh yeah, like his games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So fine.
Parenting. There are tons of books about it, but
yeah,
I don't think it works for everybody.
Parenting, but we're almost really though. If you really think about it, you're almost done. She's only got 4 more years, girl. And then
parenting never ends.
No. Well, when it comes to this time, like this younger moments, because like once they're 18, 19, they're kinda,
but these are the most important moments. I remember when I was young, my mom was also a single mom, but it was different times. We're like, I'm able to be around my daughter a lot more, like with my schedule and everything. And my mom, she still went to all my games and everything, but I just remember just like emotionally, like crucial moments. I don't feel like I had anyone there.
When you were
when I was like 14, 15, 16.
With mom?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And I think like maybe I overcompensate because I feel like I didn't have it. Maybe.
Well, no, I'm thinking about during my time in high school.
I was talking to some other people too. I think it's like pretty much like my generation, our generation. Parents weren't really. They're like
no, they weren't.
They weren't there. They're like
I was all about my friends were my family. Like that's that we had the phone and that's all we share. Like we don't want our parents to know about anything that's going on in our lives.
Well, the worst thing was we wrote letters.
Yeah, letters.
But there's proof. Like now there's more proof because of texting. But I remember.
No, we did. We write letters. We wrote notes. Right?
Yeah.
During study hall.
Pass the note. No.
Yeah, no, you're
that
absolutely.
Was our texting.
No, you're actually. Now you made me think because I didn't like. My mom wasn't there for during school events or any of that. We were doing we didn't want them around. Really, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just our generation. Well, they raised us that way. Like, do your thing.
Go outside. Don't come home till.
Yeah, it's like basically we're there for ourselves.
Come home at dinner time.
We're there for
I don't know what you. I don't want to know what you did. I don't want to know where you
basically. So it's like that's, and I think the group of friends I have are still from high school and stuff because that's we shared everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I remember those days. That phone cord was stretched out to the max.
Oh my gosh.
Because
we had a phone on the wall.
But that's because, that's who
and
you can't wait to come home and share everything that you talked about in school. Right?
But it's still popular. Like kids are still on the phone all the time talking to each other.
Texting maybe.
And gaming with each other.
Yeah,
it's completely different.
Okay, so we went off topic a little. Well, maybe not.
No, talking about our teens. We always talk about our children, but yeah.
I guess that means we need to go. So well, thanks for listening to us and helping us vent.
I'm sure all you moms and even dads go through it too with your teenagers, and it's a test of life.
It's just life. This is how it is. But thank you, and then we'll see you for our next. We'll see you next week.
Next week.
Yeah, we're not off next week.
I won't have any more mental wellness days.
All right, see you soon. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.